Welcome, collectors and Matchbox enthusiasts. Thank you once again for joining me for another episode of Diecast Emporium. In today's video, we're going to be doing a quick overview and unboxing of the 2021 Matchbox Basic Range V case, or Mix 4 for 2021. Should be 24 models in this case. So, let's not waste any more time and begin the unboxing process. As always, I purchased my case from my friends at JCarDiecast.com. If you look in the video's description, you will find a link to where you can purchase your case from them. There are a lot of excellent models in this Mix 2021, so really excited to finally get this. And I'll tell you what, guys, I've been collecting Matchbox for a couple decades now. I stopped for a few years back when I was in high school and college. Right around that time, Matchbox was going through the Hero City era, and, well, let's just say that wasn't particularly a high point in the history of Matchbox, but they are back, and they are back with a vengeance. I gotta tell you guys, Matchbox has been on fire lately. All right, looking from the top down, we can see, looks like there's a bunch of doubles, which is good to see, but it looks like it might be some really good stuff that we want. So let's just not waste any more time. Let's get going. First out of the case, we have the 1964 Austin Mini Cooper. This is number 70 of 100. Again, it's really hard to tell if these are supposed to be divvied up into certain series. Really, you can only kind of get a hint by the background logo on the back. You can see that there's a little city skyscraper up at the top left. But other than that, there's no indication as to what mini series these are associated with Matchbox is famous for doing in past years. But nevertheless, great looking car. Very impressive. All right, next up, we have two of the big banana car. Now, this is a Matchbox original casting, but it is based on a real-life promotional vehicle that you can see traveling the United States, or at least you could a couple years ago. And during the second part of this video, stay tuned, because we're going to unbox one of each of the models in here, put them on the spin table, and give you guys a closer look. And this is actually a two-part casting, that you can take the banana piece off if you want to. Number 48 of 100 for this one. All right, another twofer. We have two 2010 Mini Cooper S Cabrio, or Cabriolet, which I'm assuming that's what it's short for. Not a big fan of this color up front, but I know some people will like it. Looks like it's kind of a light purplish, light violet color. Do have two black stripes going from the hood on back. Interesting. And this is number 52 of 100 as well. And this series is the same as the Austin Mini. So you actually have two Mini Coopers in this collection, in this case. All right, next one. This one I'm very excited about. But looks like there's only one in the case, which is a bit disappointing. This is the Mercedes-Benz Cla Shooting Brake, number 5 of 100. Check out the card art on this. This four-door, kind of almost looks like a station wagon-esque car. This thing just looks incredible. Check out the black paint. There's the famous Mercedes front end. Yeah, this thing is awesome. Can't wait to unbox this. There's the background for it. Looks like it's driving through the country scenery-esque background. You can see right here that it's a licensed Daimler-Benz product on the back. All right, let's keep going. We have 2019 Fiat 500 Turbo, number 19 of 100, in a very nice stock red color. That looks pretty good. Front and rear tampo detail. And as I said, 19 out of 100, and this looks like it's going to be in that city collection based on the skyscrapers that you guys can see at the top left. All right, here we go. This one has been highly anticipated by the collector community. This is the 1984 Toyota MR2. Now, there are two variations of this to keep an eye out on. Now, I thought that there were one of each in this case, but that is not the case, pun intended. The variation has to do with the headlights, and as you can see here, both of these have the headlights down, but there is a version with the headlights up, so keep an eye out for both variations. This one, 14 out of 100. Check out that card art once again. This is what I like to call the showroom series. Who knows if that's the real name. As you can see, there's the logo at the top left. Man, great to see this car back. A number of years ago, I'm talking late 80s, early 90s, Matchbox did do a Toyota MR2. Not sure if it was the 84 model, but it actually had the old TRD paint scheme on it, the original TRD paint scheme on it. Very interesting. So glad that Matchbox and Mattel overall has the Toyota license once again. Here's another highly anticipated casting for this year, number 21 of 100. Hot Wheels had their crack at it. Now Matchbox did more of a stock version. The Hot Wheels version is more of an off-road version. 2021 Ford Bronco, ironically, 21 out of 100. There's your blue oval at the top left portion of the screen. Loving this candy apple red metallic flake finish to it. Check out that front bumper and the rear as well with a spare tire cover. This thing's hot. This is your, I don't know, another outdoor series with a volcano. I always kind of joke on this card because it always seems like they have the best looking cars or high-end cars parked right outside of an active erupting volcano. Always kind of funny to me. From one of the most highly anticipated cars to maybe one not so much, and unfortunately there's two of them. This is the LEVC TX Taxi, the London Taxi that we've seen virtually unchanged for years. Number 46 of 100. There are two of these. This is a licensed model. It's the taxi most commonly found in Britain, in London specifically. Once again, in the City series, so there are two of those. All right, here is another gorgeous blast from the past. Number 34 of 100, 1941 Cadillac Series 62 convertible. There's also a blue version of this in the Walmart Cadillac series that is just hitting now. This car is just absolutely a work of art. Back in the late 30s, early 40s, all of the big three, what we now know as the big three, back then there was a whole lot more than three, up in Detroit, were really at each other's throats for automotive design, and especially during the pre-war years. And this 1941 Cadillac 62 was, I think, one of the best cars Cadillac has ever produced. And to now have a few different variations, I think the first one was green, then we have this version, and then, as I just said, there's a blue version in the Walmart Cadillac set. Just a very, very nice piece of automotive history, and one of the best-looking cars that I think has ever come out of GM. Okay, enough of the history lesson. Let's keep going. Two more. And I'm sorry, that was number 34 of 100 for the Cadillac. Number 40 of 100, yet we continue with Matchbox bringing the fire. 40 of 100, 2020 Corvette C8 in red. Very clean looking car. No decos because it doesn't need it. In that showroom finish. On the back, there you go. A lot of people don't know, and I like kind of bringing in tidbits here, if that's what I like to differentiate my channel from other diecast channels. Yes, Chevrolet is an American company, but actually the gentleman behind the name, it was actually a Frenchman, Chevrolet. So not a lot of people know that. If you're interested in reading up on the story, I encourage you to do that. He was a very famous French race car driver back in the day. Anyway, again, very nice looking car. Don't worry, we're going to open one of each of these. Next up, number 98 of 100, 2017 Honda Civic Hatchback. Another very nice looking car, very simple livery in that kind of basic white, bright white. Again, city background. Looks absolutely great. There's the back of the card for those that want to see it. All right, we're getting down to it now. One of only a couple Matchbox original designs in this case, or non-licensed vehicle, take your pick, but there are two of them. This is number 61 of 100, the MBX Mini Swisher, in a predominantly orange and white livery, so you could almost, although it is not technically, but you could almost put this with your Ranek construction livery fleet, because it has those colors. Little mini industrial city sweeper. There's the back of it. Again, not a licensed casting, but very close to a real-life small street sweeper, particularly found in Asia. All right, we're going to keep on going here. Next up, 1975 Chevy Caprice, number 86 of 100, again in the quote-unquote showroom series. Very nice-looking car. Not sure what I would even call that color. It's obviously a shade of green, light green. Very 70s-esque, very believable color for back then. There's the back of it, 86 of 100. All your other information. Down to the last layer, 2010 Ford Animal Control Truck. This is an F-150, 72 of 100. This is a bit disappointing to see because it used to be back in the day that at least the cab used to be die-cast. Now the entire thing is a plastic piece. On the upswing, for those HO model railroaders out there, this truck does scale out to 187 scale approximately. If you were to do some work to the cab and the body and upscale it to a 550, you could have yourself a nice animal control vehicle. And there's the back of this as well. Another one that appears to be in the Downtown or City series. Oh yeah, here we go. Two of these. Great to see that there's doubles of this in the case. Number 20 of 100, the McLaren 720S Spider, the convertible. Check that color out. Holy smokes. Can't get any better than that. Very happy to have two of these in the case. There you go. There's the background McLaren information. By the way, if you follow worldwide motorsport, particularly Formula One, McLaren is having a bit of a resurgence as of late, which is good to see. They're having a great year. All right, next up, we have another 2-4. This is the Mazda MX-5 Miata, two of them in the case. Doesn't appear to be any variation on it. Number 58 of 100. Yet another one in the showroom series. Really like this version in black. I think we saw an orange one earlier that I wasn't particularly fond of. This looks good with the gold hubcaps on it. On the back, again, your showroom series, Mazda, all your copyright information. And the last vehicle in the case, as my pile almost went the way of the London Bridge and came tumbling down. For all you Australian truck fans, this is the 2018 Holden Ute Ssv. Boy, this is cool looking. I think we have seen this recently before, perhaps maybe in green a few years back, if memory serves me correct. Again, number 64 of 100. Now it's in white with a little bit of a light orangish yellow trim all the way around. Like the choice of wheels. Pretty cool to have an Australian ute / pickup truck. Looks really good. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we are going to open one of each of these, take a really close look at each one of them. And as we're going through, if you guys would like to leave your comments down in the video's comment description on each one, please do so. We're going to be back right after this short break. All right, welcome back, guys. We have the smaller spin table out right now. Hopefully the camera is focused in and we can take a better look at it. So first one we're going to take a look at, we're going to go in ascending order from, in my opinion, what is kind of the non-favorables to the most desirable models in this case. We're going to start out with the LAVC TX Taxi. I think this is maybe the third or fourth time in recent memory we've seen this in the Matchbox range, and I think we just saw it in the video that I just did on the Global series, so if you're interested in that, take a look at the screen right now. This is quite cool, only because it is a licensed replica of a vehicle you would see in London almost everywhere. Quite cool looking. Hopefully we won't see it too much more. I just think it's been overdone. It does have front detail and rear detail, but that's pretty much all that it has going for it. But again, those that like to collect licensed replicas, maybe it's worthwhile picking up just for that reason. All right, there are two unlicensed castings in this round, so let's get those out of the way. First up, we have the big banana car. Again, at least the second time we've seen this within the past couple years. It is based off of a real car that I think either Chiquita or one of the other banana companies used as a promotional travel vehicle that would travel the States. People would get an opportunity to see it. So Matchbox did their own kind of reimagining representation of it. I really like all of the little details that you may not see at first, especially in the package, but you can see some discoloration, a few banana details into the plastic part of the casting. Inside you can see that it seats a driver and 3 passengers. There's what it looks like underneath. I mentioned before that it's a 2-piece casting, that if you wanted to separate it, you can actually take the banana portion off like that, and it simply slides back in by putting the 2 connectors into the 2 holes. Moving on. Next we have the mini Swisher, the little street sweeper that we have. Again, I mentioned during the unboxing that you could use this theoretically as part of your Ranach construction fleet in the white and orange, but it is not officially a Ranach livery. Pretty nice looking truck. I like it. It's small enough. It's kind of to scale with your other Matchbox vehicles that it is believable. Again, Matchbox as a whole generally does not pay particular attention to scale exactly. Your sweepers don't move, but they are casted in, and perhaps with a little bit of paint you can add some detail. Hey, if you really wanted to go all out, maybe you can add some little hoses going to them that would obviously feed water into it. Make it just that much more believable. All right, so that's the unlicensed stuff. Let's go take a look at some of the trucks that are in here. First off, we'll start with the Ford F-150 animal control truck. Really, really do like this one. Again, other than the fact that it's mostly all plastic, you could really bring out the headlights with some paint, also maybe do the grille and obviously the blue oval in some blue. Just add a little bit of detail to it. It would really be cool if they actually would take this and put it into maybe the moving parts collection of Matchbox, maybe make some of these cabinets roll up or open. I think that would be really cool, and maybe that's something they could think about doing down the line, just to have more trucks into the working parts or working series that Matchbox does. Not sure if they would want to heavily invest in that casting, but hey, just an idea, thinking outside the box. Next up, we have the Holden Ute Ssv, which I believe is based on a 2010 model. As I said before, I think we've seen this recently in green. I really like this version a lot better in this kind of simplistic and basic white. Love the outline of the white wheels. I really love that yellow/orange stripe. It does have a MBX license plate on the back, as well as some Ute logos here celebrating it. And in the bed, it's not all black. It actually goes from black to white, and the wheel arches are covered in black too, which I really like. Also, another detail that you may not notice up front, but because this is an Australian car, the driver's steering wheel is on the right-hand side of the truck, which, again, huge props for me. It's little details like that, even in 99-cent cars, that really add to it and bring out your imagination. All right, here's one of the most popular ones from this line, in my opinion, the 2021 Ford Bronco. Not much else to say about this other than, again, my humble opinion, Matchbox nailed it. The scale is pretty good, especially if they're kind of leaning more towards 1/64 scale with this. I do like that they went for more of a stock version, whereas if you have the Hot Wheels version that Hot Wheels released a number of months ago, that's more of an off-road version that's been raised and has those more aggressive off-road style tires. This is more of just a standard street version of the new Bronco. I had the opportunity to go to the car show that visits Cincinnati here annually, and thankfully it came back this year. Last year, everybody kind of took a year off, but that's another story. And they had several versions of the new Bronco, and I actually had a chance to see this very one in this color, or a color very close to this. And I got to say, the profile looks just about right. The Bronco lettering here is very crisp and clean, very distinctive. I do like the spare tire that they put on the back, and the fact that they were able to do not only front tampos, rear tampos, but if you look, they have the Ford logo down here and also the Bronco logo, which, again, I realize that's blurry. You're going to have to bear with me a minute. There you go. They actually do have the Bronco logo there just to the right of the spare tire. Very, very cool. So that will conclude the trucks. Let's take a trip down memory lane and go to more of the classics, if you will. So we'll start off with the Austin Mini Cooper. I believe this is based on a 64 model, somewhere in there. Matchbox says this is according to the base, they say this is 1/51 scale, which, for the majority of my audience that collects 1/50th scale vehicles, hey, pick this one up. For $1, you got a 1/50th scale Mini. Back to the Matchbox collection. Not a huge fan of this, honestly. Minis just don't do it for me. But this classic version is nice, particularly with the checkered flag combination on top. That's a nice touch. And the fact that it got top treatment and front treatment means that there's no detailing or decos on the back, so bear that in mind. Let that rotate one more time, and then we'll check out the other Mini that's in this set. This is the Mini Cooper S Cabrio, or Cabriolet, based on a 2010 model. So this has been in the range for quite a long time. Again, this color, it really does nothing for me. Not a fan of it. I think it's geared more towards, again, in my opinion, I think it's more of a feminine color, but you know, it is what it is. I don't even know how to describe it. It's more of like a purple, pink, and like a silver mixed together. Not sure if this is a factory mini color. I've never seen one personally in this color. But it's a decent casting. I do like the stripes. I do like the headlights and the mini logo at the front. There's some interior detailing, and again, because of the decal on the hood with the stripes and with the headlights, there's no detailing at the rear. So let's not spend any more time on that. How about a 1975 Chevy Caprice Classic? One of Chevy's most famous cars, at least from the mid-70s on. This is always very popular whenever Matchbox does a version of it. This version in particular looks sharp in this color. I like the white stripe as well, the beige or cream color interior, again synonymous with the 60s and 70s. Solid looking car, and one that will be popular with the customizers out there if it is not already, just because, again, you can do a lot with this. All right, next up, as I said during the opening, one of my favorite cars from the pre-war era. This is the 1941 Cadillac Series 62 convertible. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous piece of automotive design. Everything about this just screams elegance and class. Certainly you would definitely be in high society back then if you were able to afford something like this. The fact that the rear wheels are completely covered with those arches, again, the brown tan interior, nice touch there, and the specific wheels that they went with, that Matchbox went with this, just perfect. Chrome front end, headlights, tail lights, everything is perfect on this car. Nothing bad to say about it at all. And as I said before, you can pick this up as well in blue currently in the Walmart Cadillacs series. All right, here's the last of our classics, 1984 Toyota MR2. Another awesome, awesome car. As I said before, make sure you look out for the variation. This one has the headlights down. There is a variation with the headlights up. You can also try and find them in the Power Grabs, as I understand that they're both variations in the Power Grabs, but again, that's a little harder to tell because the Power Grabs, well, they're in a box. You can't open them up and see until you buy it and take it home. As for this, though, Toyota logo right here, taillights, some nice casted-in black detail, good choice of wheels, in my opinion. But really the highlight, other than the casting, is the rear version with your taillights, your turn indicators, and the MR2 logo right on the rear license plate area. Okay, getting down to the last half dozen or so. Let's stick with another white car. Now we're transitioning to our modern classics. How about a 17 Honda Civic in bright white? This is a great little hot hatch. In fact, if I had the money, this is one of the cars that I would probably consider buying in real life. Extremely reliable. It's a four-door. To me, it's kind of nice looking, honestly, if you were looking for a four-door. And it's a nice excuse to have a VTEC Civic. So, Matchbox did a great job with this. Good front detailing, good rear detailing. Again, no obscene or obnoxious graphics on the side that we tend to see from other diecast manufacturers. It's just generic, it's just clean, just the way most adult collectors want it. All right, let's stick with the Japanese stuff for a little while longer. 2015 Mazda MX-5 Miata in black. This is a much better version of the Miata, in my opinion. Another right-hand drive car. Nice Mazda logo front and center on the front. Those gold tires really do look good. The back, you have the very high-quality tail light and other light detail, as well as MX-5 written at the rear. Sharp, sharp looking car. All right, let's go to Europe for a while. How about the 19 Fiat 500 Turbo? Again, not completely to scale, obviously. And what I mean by that is there's the Mercedes and there's the Fiat. Not at all to scale, but we can look past that. These are dollar cars, guys. Again, perfect color for this, for the Fiat. Kind of has that Italian red theme going on. Fiat now is the parent company of Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, you name it. This car, just sharp. Headlight detail, turn indicator detail. The badge right here for Fiat just looks sharp. And as you saw before, just a minute ago when it was spinning around, the taillight detail as well. And the license plate logo as well is a very, very sharp and legible Fiat 500 printing. Very well done. Crisp, legible, not chipping off. High quality printing on these. Matchbox is certainly stepping up their game, and it's very evident. Okay, we are going to stay in Europe, and then we'll come back to the States for the last model. 2020 Mercedes-Benz CLA shooting brake. Highlight of mine from this mix, hands down. You guys should know by now if you watch my Matchbox videos or Hot Wheels videos. Mercedes-Benz is one of my favorite car manufacturers. This is interesting. It's, really more of a wagon-esque car, but it has a very powerful engine in the real thing. So again, if you needed an excuse and you were arguing with your wife over what car you should get to haul the kids around and get the groceries, but you want a performance car, well, you guys can settle on middle ground and perhaps get one of these. You're going to spend a little bit of money, but hey, she's happy. You've got some power and torque underneath your right foot. You're happy. Everybody's happy. As for the dollar toy, again, Mercedes badge at the rear, tail lights, even some lights under here, details at the front, sunroof, which is done with one of those clear windshield inserts. But most impressively, just check out the front end. No denying when this is coming at you that this is a Mercedes. All right, two left. 2019 McLaren 720S Spyder. This teal color is pretty sharp. Again, because of the spinny table color, it may not contrast or look that great on camera. Very nicely done with the windshield profile to the car. It looks just about to scale. Headlights look good. Taillights look good. This is obviously a rear-mounted engine car, or a mid-engine car. So another performance car from McLaren. One that obviously most of us will never be able to afford, but a great car to collect. And let's end the video by returning to the States, the 2020 Chevy Corvette. How about that, guys? Another mid-engined, technically rear-engine Corvette in red. You have the Corvette badge on the front. You can clearly see some engine detailing through the backside window, which looks great. And then this has a Michigan plate, which reads Stingray on the plate. So paying homage to the Corvette Stingray there. Overall, closing thoughts, this is one of the best cases of the year for Matchbox. You can pick it up at JCarDiecast.com. There will be a link down in the description. Tons of variety in here. The doubles that are in there are some of the stuff you do want to see, including the Toyota MR2, as well as the McLaren, are just to name two of the cars that if they have to be doubles, they're stuff that you want to see. As always, I'm Tommy with Diecast Emporium. Thank you all so very much for watching. Check out your screen right now for another suggested link for another Mattel product review. And until next time, take care and be safe. I'll see you in the next review.